What's good? What's good? What's good with it, nation? I hope everybody's having a good day. Appreciate everybody pulling up. It's 6 o'clock, December 27th. And we coming off of a Victory Monday, beating the Broncos, putting us in position to make the playoffs or at least get a playoff run. Before we jump into that, I just want to say what's up to everybody. Just got back a few hours ago from Vegas. Went to the game. That shit was fire. Appreciate everybody pulling up. Robert Penny in the building. Was good with you? Arkham Raider. Everybody, I know y'all was holding it down. I know everybody was Honcho was holding it down. Popped in on his live. Really just in the comments. Went back and forth a little bit. It was good with Arkham Raider though. He says, welcome back, Ray. Much love, brother. Yes, shout out Arkham Raider. Appreciate you pulling up, man. He said, what's up, Raider Nation? Don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, sir. Make sure y'all rate that like button. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what time it is. We're gonna jump into it. We're gonna talk a lot about we got a lot to talk about. Because just a few weeks ago, a lot of people were down on the team, and all of a sudden the tables is turned, and we're looking at a playoff run. So we'll see what happens. Farrell says, I don't know about the playoffs, LOL. I want to say yes, but Charger and Colts are better teams. I agree. I agree with that. It just depends on how everything shakes out. Depends on how everything's going to shake out. It's going to be interesting. But ONT6 pulled up playoffs. I just hope we can win the game. Anthony in the building says Raider Nation. Yes, shout out Anthony. Shout out ONT6 in the building. Says Raider Nation, stand up, roll call. Who's here? Yep, the numbers. Ray Love in the building. Was good with you, boy. Happy holidays. Dolphins winning. Oof. Yeah, we want the Dolphins to lose. Casey Bourne says, what's up, Ray? How do you like the stadium? Yo, the stadium was fire, man. That was lit. That was a nice stadium, man. I ain't gonna lie. The seats I was at were fire. Most definitely, those were fire, man. There was a bit of Broncos, in my opinion, but at the same time, the crowd was still lit for the Raiders. So I had a good time, man. The stadium was nice. The biggest thing though, man, if you ever been to a game at the Coliseum, those bathrooms, the bathrooms were like pissing in bathtubs, yo. Those are so old. It was terrible, man. Those bathrooms were terrible. And, that was the biggest thing for me going to the Coliseum. I hated the bathrooms, man. I just hated the bathrooms. It just told you how old that Coliseum really was. Like, that was terrible. Going to a game in the year, 2017 or 18, and you over here, that was terrible. So big upgrade for sure. And the stadium just looks, I heard we were walking up to the stadium and I heard somebody say, it kind of looks intimidating. I'm like, yeah, that thing is it does. Like, dang, we finna, like, the opponent should look and be like, man, we got to play here. We got to come here and play. So Gunsmoke Gang says these Saints look worse than we do. Oh man, what we got going on? What we got going on with that game, man? Y'all got me worried a little bit. What's good with you, man? Esther Rose, Ray Love, how was it to witness a win? Yo, it was wonderful, man. I was so critical in the stands of just of the team. I was screaming, yelling, kind of critical of other fans, because they would. It was crazy because you sit there and you'd be like Raiders, and then like the people behind us would just be quiet. They would just say it one time because the guy on the screen would say it, and then the people behind would just say it one time, and then like everybody would stop saying it, like the whole stadium. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? So then I kept saying it, and then it's like I was almost like the only one saying it. So it was like, yo, that was kind of irritating, but outside of that, it was dope. Tony Collins says you brought the luck to Allegiant. Shit, I hope so. I hope so. Shit, that means every game I go to, we should get that dub. I hope so, though, man. Appreciate it. He says, what's good with Maximus, man? He says, yes, we do. Good players on COVID today. Yeah, we got some players on COVID today. We'll hop into that, man. Hunter says the D-line has COVID. Yep. We'll hop into that. Nature Boy, heart attack win. Yeah, it's always a heart attack, man. Always a heart attack win. These Raiders, man. Shout out Hawaii. Desert Raider says salute Ray. Yep. Shout out Desert. ONT6 with the first super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the support. He says Ray like the button. Oh, rate the like button. Being at the game, what did you notice from the team firsthand? And second, is it really that many Broncos fans there yesterday? Was was there a lot of Broncos fans? I mean, I feel like there kind of was. You know, everywhere you turn, at the casinos, wherever it was, you're seeing a bunch of Broncos fans. So I feel like there was a lot of Broncos fans. Get that one out the way. But the first thing I noticed about the team is just the offensive line, man. Just the offensive line, honestly. The offensive line is just not that good. They're just really not. Just really not. You notice how Jacobs, a lot of people will talk about how Jacobs is running more violent, aggressive, just punching through trying to find his way through a hole, but and that's not really there, and forcing his way through. It's because the line ain't making holes, and that's the first thing I noticed about the team. Another thing I noticed really is, I feel like you'll see a lot of other teams, they'll get the tablets or they'll be looking at stuff on the sidelines, or the coach would be talking to the quarterback and stuff like that. But you'll look and you'll see, the quarterback, Carr just kind of chills by himself, with Nathan Peterman at that time. But he was just trying to, and it was just a little different. And he did go into the tent. Carr ended up going into the tent and stuff. So Herman says, Raiders. Yeah. Dark Raider in the building. What up, Ray? Shout out from New Zealand. Playoffs any given Sunday. Yeah, any given Sunday. A lot of stuff going on. TC in the building. Appreciate you, man. He says, what's good, Ray? What's good with you, TC? Houston just beat the Chargers. Yeah, Houston beat that was crazy. I don't know what's going on. You wouldn't expect that. Is that the Chargers just kind of choking? Is that the Chargers kind of choking? So I don't know. Herbert threw a couple picks. Is it just him being a sophomore quarterback? You don't really know. It's any given Sunday, though, like people say. Texans beat the Chargers. I remember the Jags beat the Bills, right? The Jags beat the Bills. Lions beat the Cardinals. You know what I mean? I just heard Max Crosby say seeing the Broncos celebrating in our end zone after that turnover is what got our guys pissed off and fired up going into the second half. Salute, Ray. Yeah, I mean, I hope it did. I hope it did piss them off, but at the same time, they just got to be prepared and ready to go and win out. I'm not really into looking into other games. I just look, what do we have to do to solidify it, right? I don't care if you're like, oh, hoping this other team loses, so then it'll give us space to say we drop one, but these other teams also lost, and it still gives us hope. Nah, we need to just go out there and win this shit. There's no excuse at this point. We got to make up for the losses like against the Giants, the losses against the Bears, stuff like that. We got to make up for that now. So I'm not really looking at other teams to be losing for us to get in per se, But I'm glad they was getting hyped up because the opponent was trying to be all up in our house acting a fool. Royal Sapp says, what was the Donkey Raider fan ratio? I mean, what was the Donkey Raider fan ratio? I mean, probably, it's hard to say, man. It's really hard to say. Probably 3 or 4 out of 10 were Broncos fans. 3 or 4, maybe. Somewhere around there. Raiders. Kevin Lurker. Shout out Kevin Lurker, man. TC, Raider Nation showed up Sunday. Yeah, most definitely. And the players were even saying that too. Players were even there saying, the fans got into it. It's the best performance from the fans. So, that's why I'm kind of glad I was there as well, because it was pretty dope. Flooded floors, Oko. Yeah. Whew. Coliseum was like pissing in prison. Sheesh. Yeah, that's funny, man. Maximus says, Vegas is tourist town. We will always have the other team fans. Same thing with VGK. Yeah. What, the line isn't good? You mean not the number 9 rated line in the league? I'm shocked and appalled. Not the number 9 rated line. What you mean, JD? The offensive line is ranked 9th in the league? The offensive line is ranked 9th in the league? I don't think I ever seen that stat. Second half O-line. Second half O-line, I mean, it's just the O-line kind of in general. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say like the first half or second half. I'll just say the O-line in general is just not that good. I kind of felt that way already, and then just going to watch the game. I'm watching the game, and I'll look at the receivers, and the next thing I know, kind of, it's like you'll look up, and then Carr's getting sacked, and it's like, damn, nobody. And I'm looking, I'm looking at the receivers like, damn, none of the receivers were even breaking on their routes or anything like that. And people was already moving in the pocket. So that's kind of where I was with it. That's what I seen. And it's funny because someone said was all throw the ball. And I'm like, to who? You know what I mean? I was just like, to who? Or at least that's how I felt when I said it. Because it was just funny because you look up, cars getting sacked, and I'll throw the ball. And in my mind, I'm just like, yo, like, I was getting frustrated because it's like, yo, did you see anybody open? You're watching the game too, right? Like you're right here. You see physically, like, bro. So that was I was like, bro, you ain't even watching, are you? Need the defense to create turnovers. It's what can really make a difference in the game. Yeah, most definitely. That's what makes the difference in every game. You know what I mean? That's why our defense, or not our defense, our turnover ratio needs to be a lot better. I think right now we're like bottom 5 in turnover ratio. And we got to get way better at with that. Queen Raider says, yo, how you doing, Raid? How you doing, Queen? Appreciate you pulling up. Being out here, what y'all think of the game? What you think of the game? Bernard, man, I see you, brother. Brady, what have you noticed from our defense that they're stopping the run the last 2 games? It's hard. It's really hard to say, man. I would just say it's just better defensive, better interior, way better interior play. That's really, you can just chalk it up to that. It's just better interior play. I don't know if maybe it's the rotation we're doing, but it's definitely the interior. The interior. A big problem we have when it comes to runs is just kind of maybe not Max so much, but Yannick does have a hard time when it comes to when run plays go to his side. I feel like I just feel like he's always shooting up field so fast that that right there, it kind of bites us. We need any given Sunday in play this week, yeah, most definitely, man, because the Colts are definitely a tough opponent. And with the Broncos, we were going up against Drew Lock. He was missing passes. There was guys open he wasn't able to hit, and also those guys were kind of like dropping some passes. So in the defense was playing well. So it's kind of, I think the Colts have a lot of COVID right now as well in their offensive line. I believe most of their offensive line is out as well. But does that mean we're going to be able to stop JT? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just capping. One of our other YouTube Raider bros said our line was ranked 9th. Yeah, our line is ranked 9th. Maybe. I mean, I haven't really seen that stat. If I did see the stat, I definitely would look into it because I don't think our line should be ranked 9th. You know, how could you be ranked 9th, but our rushing game is, still bottom 5 in the league? I feel like if you were ranked 9th, then your run game would be, at least middle of the pack, and then you'd have like a top tier pass. I don't know what they really base that off of. Sometimes we'll say that the line is ranked so high based off of how much time they give the quarterback to throw the football. I think they'll try to do that, or they'll say like not giving up so many pressures, stuff like that. And depending on which one, it could be skewed to look like they're good when really it's like you just throw the ball so fast. It's like you don't even really have to block. You know what I mean? You snap the ball and then you throw it as soon as you get it. It just depends on what the stat is. Because sometimes people will – I seen a stat where it said the O-line was 9th, but I believe that was passing alone. Casual Loretta says, no Abram, no Hankins, still stuffed the run. Front 7 did their job. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe it's because we have playing linebackers more. That could be it. I'd have to look at the film on this one. I definitely haven't. It just happened. It takes at least 24, 48 hours to get the film usually, but I definitely going to be interesting. Definitely going to be interesting to see what we did this game that much different. But Diablo was out there. Perriman was out there, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe Diablo's kind of helping with that speed, helping to get to the spot. Glad they won for you. The Washington football team game sucks, so quiet and boring. Oh man. That's probably I'm not 100% sure if that affects the game or not for it like being quiet and boring. But yo, I was yelling. I was in that thing screaming. I was in that thing yelling. I was going to regardless. You know what I mean? I was going to regardless. EJ says, "What's up, right? How's the stadium? Yeah, stadium was lit, brother. Stadium was lit. For desert. Yep, rate that like button, man. Rate that like button." Maximus says definitely different than on TV. You see everything at the Death Star. Yeah, it was dope too. Like the intro video. They have like little performances here and there. So it definitely went by a lot faster than games I've been to before. Because some games I've been to, it may seem like it takes a while for a play to happen, for the changes for possession to be, when they change possessions. And sometimes it seems like it takes a while, but there at the game, they really had like little things to kind of occupy you when you had to kind of wait. Marquez in the building says, "What up, Braid? Any chance of the coaching staff gets another year? Focus on talent at key spots. Thoughts?" Yeah, I don't see this coaching staff staying, man. I mean, if the coaching staff stayed, it'd be tough. It would really be tough. Maybe keep the defensive coaching staff and maybe the special teams, and then you bring in a new head coach that's cool with that. But it just depends on the head coach, man. I'm not even 100% sure we'll have the same GM, but at the same time, I don't see this. I don't see Bisaccia being the head coach next year. No, I don't see him being the coach next year. Jefferson and Phylon are back, exactly. And Phylon, even Crosby said Phylon is getting off the ball quick and definitely helping. So that's a good thing. Jefferson has been. I remember on the members we were watching it. Jefferson was having a tough time against the run. That was some weeks ago. So we'll definitely have to look at that again. See how he's playing the run. See how he's playing the run here down the stretch during the season. TC says defense played well, but people acting like we played a good offense. But Diablo looks good. Furrow helped us stop the run. Yeah, most definitely. Defense played well, but people acting like we played a good offense. The offense of the Broncos is not good. I feel like we went in there, make sure we stopped the run, and then kind of make Drew Lock pass the ball, make him pass the ball, make him make the throws, and he couldn't make the throws, and people were making catches for him and making plays, and the run game just wasn't going. So I think that was huge. And then last week you look at we played the Browns, who had Nick Mullins in, right, and we had a better run defense performance against the Broncos, which I would think we would than the Browns, because the Browns, their offensive line is better, better running back, also better offensive system just in general. So Chubb went for 95 yards, 91, 95 yards, something like that on so many carries. So we definitely stepped up the run defense in this performance, but I wouldn't want to gauge our defense based off of playing these two teams. Just because Nick Mullins was playing for the Browns, they had so many players out, and then also against the Broncos, they had Drew Lock in there, right? Last time we played the Broncos, we did beat them, so you can't take that away from the defense as well. So you got to keep that in mind. I think these next two games are definitely the real test, though. Definitely the real test. Adrian says, "No matter what happens this year, I'm proud that we ended playing meaningful games after all the BS." Yeah, 100%, bro. And a lot of people were kind of writing us. A lot of fans were writing us off already. A lot of teams were like, or not a teams. A lot of fans were already like quick to pack it in. And really, you gotta. And that's why you got to stay consistent, really, in what you say and whether it's your logic, your take, or your knowledge of the game. You just stick with what you say at the very beginning, and just stick with it. See through it. Don't just change up the middle of the season because this happened, that happened. You talk about it, but definitely stick with what you say at the beginning of the season. I see Yannick jogging a lot when the play is not on his side. JD, I'm not. JD, if I were to say that, a lot of people I would get a lot of heat for that. But I'm gonna say this right now. I agree with you. I do see a lot of, I want to say, lack of hustle by Yannick so much, but I would say sometimes it just seems like he's playing a different game. it's just interesting. You know, like I said, it seems like he shoots upfield a lot, like he's really trying to get out the quarterback every single time. You don't really see him make a lot of run stops, right? You don't see him make a lot of run stops. And also, I just remember specifically, there's been multiple occasions to where, it was Antonio Gibson, and it was 3rd and short, and the Washington football team ran it to Yannick's side. Yannick shoots upfield, and he ends up missing the tackle on Antonio Gibson, and Antonio Gibson was like 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, right? But he still ends up running up forward because he makes Yannick miss the tackle, and he gets the first down, and they score. So, it's just little stuff like that. Little stuff like that I've noticed from Yannick, and I definitely don't. I don't like that much. Colts are going to be tough, 100%. Did you see Waller on the sideline? Did he seem engaged? Honestly, I didn't really look for Waller too much on the sideline. I was on the game, looking at the game a lot. But they did do I guess it's not really a ceremony, but they did do something for him and the Man of the Year. He did receive some type of award for being the Man of the Year nominee, and then he spoke before the game. Obviously he wasn't suited up. He was just in regular street clothes, kind of like a sweater like this, and some sweats, and just on the sidelines, just chilling, just chilling for the most part that I seen. But I wasn't looking for him too much. We'll see what happens. If y'all follow me for a while now, at least since the Waller stuff has happened, y'all know how I feel about the Waller situation. I feel like he should have been back by now. Some people, saying whatever they say is what they say, but me personally, I feel like he should have been back by now. I'm not sure what's keeping him out for so long. Why would we not say what it is and just be honest about it? So it's interesting. It's interesting. I hope he's able to bounce back soon. It would help to have another weapon on the field. But let's see. D stepped up. We had a few upsets, but that's none new. I was pleased overall. Thought it was a decent game. Yeah, it was a decent game. It was a strange play call. Not really strange. It was a real good play by Bradley Chubb at the end of that end of the half, and it gave him a touchdown. And they didn't really have to get that. You know what I mean? You take that away. Say the time just runs out. We don't get any points. We just run the clock out, and we come back out. Then it is what it is. They don't get that touchdown. We're up, and we put more points on the board, but we still end up winning at the end of the day. And we ended the game. What I like the most is that we ended the game taking a knee. You know what I mean? So hopefully we get back most of our players that went on the COVID list today. We need to run the table and make the playoffs. Yeah, most definitely, bro. We need to focus on our wins. We need to go out there and get the wins. You know what I mean? And not worry about, we need this team to lose or that team to lose. No, we need to go out there and get those dubs, regardless of who's winning or not. Waller expected to practice, so I expect him to play Sunday. Yeah, well, if he's practicing, Versace said that in his latest presser. If he's back at practice, he's back, and I'll be glad. But damn, did we really have to rest him that long? I guess we could, and we still ended up winning. Let's see what he does. Bolt Clan says, will Waller be back for the game? We'll see. I haven't heard anything definitely, right? So what up, Ray? Awesome pick with Hall of Fame Raider Stickum legend at the game. Yeah, man. So I'm going to the airport, or I'm at the airport, and then Fred Biletnikoff walks in, and I see him walking past. And I'm like, that's the Raider Hall of Famer right there, And I'm kind of sitting there, and I'm looking around, and I'm just kind of trying to catch a vibe, like to see if anybody else sees him. I'm like, bro, there's other Raider fans. There's people wearing Raider stuff and whatever. And then so I'm just kind of like looking. I'm like, man, should I go up and, ask him, like, yo, can I get a picture? Should I say something to him, or should I just leave him alone, But I'm a Raiders fan. It's like, yo, this is Hall of Fame. Like, this is the dude right here as far as the Raiders. So, and it's a Raiders legend. Like, I got to say something. I got to say what's up. You know what I mean? And so I'm sitting there, I'm looking around. Nobody's really saying anything. Like, nobody really is looking. Nobody. And it was kind of strange because I was like, yo, are these people Raider fans? Because I feel like everybody would be staring and kind of like whispering or kind of, but it really wasn't like that. And maybe because he's just maybe a little older, people don't recognize him. He's an older player. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching. A little time passes by, and then I see an older gentleman walk up to him, and he asked him for a picture. And I was like, oh, okay, yep. Like this confirms everything. I'm not the only one. It is so. It was an older gentleman though, right? And he wasn't even wearing any Raider gear. And he was like, yo, can I get a picture? And he takes a picture with him. So I'm like, dope. I'm gonna go ask. Like, I'm gonna ask him. Shoot. So I go over there. I ask him, like, yo, like Fred. And he was like, yeah. I was like, can I have a picture with you? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'd love to. And then he was cool about it. And we just took a little picture. And I was like, yo, I appreciate it, man. A Raider legend. And then I just went back. And I was pretty excited. I was excited, But at the same time, as I'm walking away, I heard these people say, "Oh, who is he?" Like, who is he? And I don't know if they were wearing Raider stuff, but I heard somebody saying, like, "Oh, who is that?" Like, why did they ask for a picture? But it was just kind of interesting. I feel like if everybody was like actual Raider fan, they would have been like, "Yo, like that's the dude right there." You know what I mean? That's one of the Raider goats. You know what I mean? You got to pull up on bro. ONT6 Soldier, man. Ray, did Yannick Ngakoue look into it to you? Because to me, he's not coming off the edge with the same explosiveness. Why don't you think Malcolm has played? That's a good question, man. That's a good question. I don't know why we're not seeing Malcolm Kuntz. Maybe it's just because of the rotation and also because we've been trying to stop the run. I don't know. I don't know if Gus Bradley really trusts Malcolm Kuntz 100% to have him out there in rotation to stop the run. And not only that, you got to think about it. Would you put Malcolm Kuntz in on a third down instead of Max Crosby? You know what I mean? Like, that's probably what Gus Bradley is trying to balance. Now, if something comes up with Max Crosby or Yannick, and he's like, something happens, right? They get a little nicked on the knee or something, or the elbow's kind of messed up. They got to sit a couple plays out. You know what I mean? Kind of work that out, and then Malcolm Kuntz comes in for like a third down. Then okay, that makes sense. But at the same time, the Browns ran on 3rd and 5 against us. Like, that right there just blows my mind. A team ran on 3rd and 5 against us. Like, that's disrespectful. To me, I'm just like, yo, that's disrespectful, man. That's crazy. Mo Dizzle says Mirig makes one catch and LVB in the playoffs right now. Yo, one catch, you know what I mean? Catch an interception away, and we wouldn't even be really – we would still kind of be talking about it, but at the same time, we'd be a lot more comfortable. And, a lot of stuff we could talk about a lot of stuff in the past, but you know what I mean? You make your bed, you got to lay in it. The Raiders made the bed, they got to lay in it. Now, at the end of the day, we got to win out. And that's why I'm kind of like, don't worry about what other people do, because what other people are doing on other games, because a lot of times when you're running, this is something you learn. When you're running, say you're a track runner, looking behind you doesn't really help that much. If you're not running as fast as you can, then you're already behind. You know what I mean? So you should be looking straight ahead to your goal and running as fast as you can, because if you're looking behind you, you're already losing. So that's something I kind of think about when it comes to this playoff run. We don't need to be looking to the side and what these teams are doing now. We need to focus on what the hell we got to do to win these next 2 games. You know what I mean? It's that simple. Maximus says Malcolm is pass rusher still working on a run. Yeah, he's still trying to get some things in motion. He's still trying to get some things in motion, and we've been trying to stop the run, right? And if we've been stopping the run, like people have been saying, people say like what we've been doing is working to stop the run. If Malcolm Kuntz isn't coming in and we're stopping the run, then you can't really. There's no wait. You got to kind of weigh your options there. You're stopping the run. You don't really got to bring him in. Cruise Control, man. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Says Ray, that is awesome. Saw him in 2019 at the game. He was waving at all the fans. We also got Mike Haynes' autograph the same game at the Oak Torch. Oh, that's fire, bro. That's fire, man. And you know what I think? Now that I think about it, I didn't even ask for Fred's autograph or anything like that. No, I think like I had Raiders hats. I had a Raider hat, shirt, flag. There was a jacket I could have got signed. I didn't even think about getting an autograph. I just took a picture, man. I think I was just like, man, I got to get a picture. So people going to think I'm lying. Exo Sanders, appreciate you pulling up, man. He says, "What's good, Ray? How was the game? A lot of black, I hope." Yeah, bro. I mean, there was a good bit. But at the same time, when something would happen for the Broncos, you would hear that noise, and that's what was kind of like, huh? You know what I mean? And you just seen a lot of Broncos fans. You just seen a lot of Broncos fans. The tailgating, that's one thing I'll say. The tailgating definitely wasn't the same. At the Coliseum, bro, the tailgating was like yo, the tailgating was like a whole nother part of being at the game. You know what I mean? Once you walking through and there's all these cars, there's this bunch of cars, there's a bunch of people, way different vibe, right there at the Coliseum in the parking lot, and everybody tailgating. But right there at Vegas, man, it was different. It was really different. As far as that tailgating, it was not even close to the same. I'm just saying, our run defense the last 2 weeks has been playing great. If we could do the same against the Colts 9-7, yeah, we got to do the same thing against the Colts. And if we could do it against the Browns, I think we could do something against the Colts, right? But the Colts right now are on fire. They're hot. They're going strong. So that's going to be a tough battle to overcome. But playing away is I'm kind of glad that we're playing them away, because I feel like we play pretty well on the road. And we're going to Indy, so we'll see what happens. Didn't we play Indy last year in Indianapolis as well? And that was a pretty tough game, but didn't we play Indy? Oh, and another thing I noticed, man, Gus Bradley in that cover 3 system, yo, that cover 3 is just so easy to burn people, man. It's so easy to burn people in that cover 3. I'm like, yo, every time they came out in the cover 3, I'm like, bro, like, they're just waiting to dial up a play to beat this. Redder Andy, if the defense plays how they did against the run with the Broncos, we just might be able to stop JT, but they need to be ready. And me personally, I think this is a different run team. I think the Colts are completely different than the Broncos and the Browns. And I just think they're completely different. But we'll see what happens, because like I've been seeing, the Colts have some COVID things coming up as far as their offensive line. So we'll see what happens. Hell yeah, fans offering beers and tacos. I hate they left Cali. Yeah. Yeah, man. There was still people out there, but it was only like a row of cars. And for me personally, I just remember it being a whole parking lot. You know what I mean? Like a whole parking lot. Like you had to walk through like a gang of people just to make it to the entrance of the Coliseum. I feel like Z Jones' strength is short to mid route. I feel 100%, because you got to think Zay Jones he is fast. He is fast, but I think he's fast relative for his size, right? He's a bigger wide receiver, and that's why he's hard to tackle. So if you give him those short routes, he's able to make a couple yards after that, whether he's able to, break a tackle, or he's able to, carry a guy a couple yards. But what I definitely have been liking is those short routes to Deshaun Jackson. We have to get those kind of plays in motion. Those are perfect, bro. Those are perfect. Throwing it about 5 yards just to the receiver and then letting them run a couple yards, and then they just run out of bounds. That's like a quick 7 yards. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. We need that kind of stuff. And we got to start looking out for that. That's going to be built into our offense. And those are the kind of plays that, successful offenses use. And I hope we start working that into our offensive game plan. Definitely helps with the run. But we got to start working that into the game plan, man. Those little short routes right there, you know what I mean, that are people are playing off of us. You got to take advantage of that. Other teams do it all the time, and we've never really done it. We started to do it with our boy, you know what I mean, with our first round pick before everything happened. Perfect example was that Eagles game. We hit him 3 different routes. Hit him with the out route, hit him with the slant, hit him with the comeback route. You know what I mean? And we got to have a wide receiver to where we can do that. They can line up outside. You can just throw it to them through an out route that's about 5 yards, and then they could maybe break a tackle, and then they could make another 5 yards, or they could just run out of bounds for another 2 and get a quick 7. Those are the kind of plays successful offenses run all the time, man. Charlie said we played in Vegas against the Colts last year. Okay. Johnny B says with Brissett in Indy. No, I did. Did the Colts have Brissett? I thought they had Phillip Rivers. I thought they had Phillip Rivers. And yeah, and JT burned us for a lot. Yeah. Need to run. No stupid negative screenplays to JJ. Yeah. And another thing, I think it's happened in back-to-back games where Carr will dump it off to Jacobs, and Jacobs will kind of like tip it or not really catch it. And those right there will turn into a negative play quick. Those will turn into a negative play quick. Those got to stop. Those got to stop. Shoot the Moon says yes, Rivers. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it was Rivers. Says think Rivers was injured for a few games. Was he injured? Oh, now see y'all trying to make my mind change. XO Sound says I want to see a Jackson, Johnson, Jones package, all speed. Yeah, that is all speed, man. That is all speed. That'd be a pretty nice package, man. I'm not gonna lie. Jackson got the speed. Johnson, I would like to see if Johnson could burn somebody. Send him on a deep route. He's got to be able to pick up some plays. He's got to be able to know a few things. You know what I mean? So Johnson has to pick up on a few plays by now. We got to start working him in. He has some deadly speed. And another thing is, Chargers fans were talking about Johnson. Chargers fans were talking about Johnson. Say they wanted to keep him instead of what is his name? Guyton. Instead of Guyton, they wanted to keep Johnson. And Johnson just didn't get played because he was with the Jags, I believe. Johnson was with the Jags, right? And they had a whole fiasco going on over there. So Maximus says, give it a chance. First year with fans at Death Star. We have Pro Bowl and draft in Vegas, Super Bowl 2024. Yep. Yeah, man. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy, man. Vegas is gonna be wild these upcoming years. Rated Per says, I think I prefer D-Jax playing more than Edwards. Let's look at this. Let's see if I can pull this up and look at the stats real quick. I want to see how many snaps our boy Deshaun Jackson, actually. If I could look this up real quick for y'all, because that is interesting. Deshaun Jackson, because Edwards is out, of course, and y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of Brian Edwards. Y'all know that, I'm not the biggest fan of Edwards. Definitely capable. He's definitely capable, but let's see what we got. View premium snaps. Snaps, offensive grade, snaps. Let's see. We'll go back. I want to see how many snaps he got. So we're looking at week 16 against Denver, and his total snaps were 36. Yeah, 36. So Deshaun Jackson's total snaps was 36. That was the second most since he's been with us. His first most was against Dallas. It was against Dallas. See if I could show you. Yeah, there we go. So that's it right there. This is Deshaun Jackson's PFF since he's been with us. Right here. Looking at 36 right there. And then he had 42 against Dallas. 32 against Kansas City. See what run, pass. 21 pass, 25 pass, 27 pass. Second best grade, 72.4. So Deshaun Jackson seems like he's definitely playing more with us than he was with the Rams, which obviously they have more wide receiver help. They definitely have more wide receiver help. But yeah, I like Deshaun Jackson, man. I do. He does help us. He definitely helps us. Ferrell says, if Jacobs can bring back the running game, then that makes us more dangerous on but that's a big if. Yeah, definitely a big if, man. And I didn't want to get ahead of myself when it came to the run game because I know Jacobs had a good game. I'm not going to take anything away from him, right? But at the same time, we still have to be – it's only one game. We still have to, settle down. It's one game. If he can start rolling And that's what we on. But it's only been one game, y'all. We're in week 16. We're in week 16. And let's go ahead and bring up Jacobs. Since we're on the topic, let's go ahead and bring up Jacobs and see what we're looking at when it comes to his snaps. And since Farrell brings it up, let's go ahead and look at Josh Jacobs real quick. Search player. Here we go, Josh Jacobs. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. There we go. Easy peasy. Josh Jacobs. Here we go. Denver, week 16. Oops. Week 16, Denver. What am I doing? I'm just not even going to do it. Denver, he got total 48 snaps. It's not even his best offensive grade, technically, based off PFF. Not his best running grade, or not even his best running grade. He got 48. Let's see, 27 runs. So this is his most runs, though, right here, 27 snap count. So that's not bad. But you see, his grade for the year goes down consistently. So it's only been one game, but this is the most runs he's had. You know what I mean? This is the most runs he's had. That's the offensive grade. Let's go ahead and look at offensive grade chart, overview. That's my position, rushing grades. Fumble. Yeah, he got that fumble thing going on this last against KC. He had a problem. Then obviously yesterday he had a weird fumble. You know, I don't know if people are blaming Carr or not for that, but let's move. Here we are, 10 plus. Carries of 10 plus right here. It says after contact. Let's see. And week 9. So it's a second most right here. This is against Denver with 3 10-plus carries. Run tight zone. Let's see, zone. Let's see. So we've been running. Let's see if there's any. So no correlation to this really as far as the zone. But that's interesting right there. I think Boogie says, yikes. O-line was solid. Yeah, definitely have to look at this this film just to see what's going on. Blaming Carr for JJ 28 fumble. I mean, I've seen some people say, that was on. I have seen people say it was on Carr, that fumble. So I don't really know. Jacobs needs to keep his head down and hit the hole, or Barber will see some more carries. I've been kind of wanting to see Barber at least get some carries in there, because I feel like he just hits the hole and he's almost like a guaranteed 3 yards because the way he's able to run and hop right back up and keep trucking. So I definitely like Barber, but with both of them, we should be able to have a solid, strong interior run game. Take that time off the clock. We're getting down into the colder weather. We're getting down into the stretch, and we're going to have to wear down these other defenses, right? So having those guys on the interior, wearing down the defense, and be able to run in cold weather will definitely help. Rev says, if he stays consistent, it's a great time to heat up. We need him going north and south behind his pads. Yeah, it is a good time for him to start going, but it's only been one game. So like I said, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see what happens when we play the Colts, right? Let's go against the Colts, see what happens with them. And while I have it right here, let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and look at the Colts. I want to look at the Colts stats real quick. See if we can see the Colts stats real quick. See what their defense is looking like. Their run defense is right now, it's 14th in yards. The run defense is 14th in yards. The Colts right here. And then you have their 4th in touchdowns. See their passing, 15th in yards, 31st in touchdowns. So we might be able to get some rushing touchdowns. We might be able to. We'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Barber is a bruiser, most definitely. Boogie says 1-2 punch. Need to utilize both of them better. Yeah, 100%. We need to use both of them. We got to use both of them. That'll keep Jacobs from, you know what I mean, getting hurt too soon. The defense played their ass off. Yeah, the defense played pretty well. Also, Denver is pretty trash. I ain't gonna lie. Denver has a bottom run D. Denver has a bottom run defense. Let's go ahead and look at it. Let's go ahead and look at it then. Denver run defense. Let's go see what their run defense was looking like. Let me pull it up for y'all. What is Denver run defense? It is. Though they have the number one ranked defense as far as points. Number one ranked defense. Yards, they're sixth. This is the Broncos, by the way. I hope y'all. And we got first in first downs, third in passing touchdowns, and they're first in rushing touchdowns. 13th in yards. So, I mean, Trufant is our answer for tight ends. Yeah, Trufant played pretty well. He played pretty well. He's a savvy guy. He's a veteran. Definitely like him having out there, but he's definitely not, in my opinion, he's just not the answer. You know what I mean? I don't want to depend on him. He's definitely going to help us because, I mean, who else do we have at this point? So I definitely agree with what you're saying and where you're coming from. But we'll have to see what happens with Desmond Trufant. We definitely picked him up pretty late in the season. He is an older guy. So, Raid, what have you heard about our defense putting several players on COVID list today? What have I heard? Actually, a lot, man. It's already been put out that multiple players. I have to let me go look up the. Actually, let me see if I can see something real quick. See if I can pull this up for y'all, to where we can see this list. Let's go to Instagram. Let's go to Instagram real quick, and right here. The Raiders have placed the following players on COVID-19 reserve list: Casey Hayward, Corey Littleton, Patrick Onwuasor, KJ Wright, Denzel Perriman, and Darius Philon. They join wide receiver Brian Edwards, quarterback Marcus Mariota, corner Brandon Faison, guard Illuminor, and safety Teamer. So those right there are the that's the COVID list. That's the COVID list right there. That's basically what's been put out so far, man. Keeps both of them fresh, like when we had Charlie Garner and Tyrone Wheatley. Yeah, man. Agreed. Trufant had a good game. Yeah. You'll know when somebody don't have a good game because we'll be ripping them. Carr doesn't trust Edwards. He trusts Jones, Waller, Renfrow, and Ruggs. Edwards probably is not consistent in being in the right place. This offense needs a number one wide receiver bad and a number two. Yeah, you need people that are consistent. You just need people that are consistent, and you just need players on the team longer than just 2 years. Like, think about it. We need players on the team that will be on the team longer than 2-3 years. Usually, the players on this team, and that's why it's weird when people will bring up certain things about players being on the team, and that's the problem because they've been on the team so long. And it's just like, it's weird because if we had a lot of players on the team that long, we'd probably have a lot more continuity and we'd be a better football team. But we don't. We have a lot of turnover every single year. We have a lot of turnover. You can't have a culture. You can't build a culture and sustain it if you have so much turnover every few years. You know what I mean? You got Carr's going on his sixth head coach in 9 years. He's going on his sixth head coach in 9 years, y'all. Can y'all believe that? That's crazy. Sixth head coach in 9 years. I mean, think about it. Bengals got 2 number ones. Shit, they got a lot of people. They got Higgins, they got T Higgins over there, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd. That's a good wide receiver core, yo. That's a good wide receiver core. Question: Who has been vaccinated? So apparently, I think the whole team's been vaccinated. When can they come back? I believe they can come back in 5 days. I believe the protocol is like 5 days or something. It has something to do with 5 days. They'll be able to come back without, if they're not showing something weird like that. And then the other one is if they test negative and they're not showing any symptoms. Ninja Boy says Carr has straight up favoritism. Sad, really. So favoritism, man. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by favoritism? Fallon and Jefferson had good games in Hankins' absence. Yeah, they definitely stepped up, man. Definitely stepped up. I want some get back on this Colts game. This team changed our team's whole future. Yeah, for real, man. We gotta get it. What's good, Ray? Glad you arrived safely from Vegas. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Appreciate the kind words, bro. Appreciate the kind words. Gabriel says, I just want to see Carr take us to the wild card. I feel like he's passionate to be a Raider, and we are taking it for granted. Everyone loves Moss, and he hated being a Raider, for example. Yeah, man, and it's crazy because Moss I took a picture, has a little thing, man. Has a thing at the Raider Stadium, and it's like, in my opinion, I'm like, yo, he's not a Raider though. I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't know if y'all can see that, but you guys get the gist though. I'm like, yo, he's not a Raider. He don't deserve to have something in the stadium with his name and all that. I don't know. That was just strange to me. I'm like, yo, y'all got to take that shit out of here. Raiders are 100% vax, so they might be able to come back by this game. Yeah. So I believe they just have to test negative and they can't have any symptoms. Cowboys, Bucks, and Bengals have fire wide receivers. Yo, the Cardinals do, the Rams, the Chargers. You could damn near say the Seahawks. Who else? The Niners, iffy. They do have Brandon Ayuk. They have Deebo Samuel. Who else? What other teams? A lot of teams, bro. Even the Dolphins. The Dolphins have a fire wide receiver core. The Giants, I think them dudes is hurt. They tried it. They really tried it. Yo, the Vikings. They got some work over there. They got some work over there. They got Amir Smith Jr. Of course, they got JJ and they got Adam Thielen. You know what I mean? A lot of teams have good wide receivers core. We're the only team that kind of has like an iffy wide receiver core. We're probably bottom 3 in the league when it comes to wide receiver core, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I just think we need a lot of help when it comes to wide receivers. And, we'll see a lot of people don't agree with that, but it is what it is. What do you think the Raiders interviewing for future head coaches while still in the playoff hunt? Is that 100% confirmed that they're actually interviewing, or is it 100% confirmed? Because I remember reading something about it, and I don't know if it was 100% confirmed. 5 days of quarantine and 1 negative test. Okay, yeah, that's the 5 days. So the 5 days was the quarantine and the negative test. Yeah. 707 says, "Yep, I took it for granted. Carr has real love for the Raiders." Yeah, I think Carr actually wants to be a Raider and trying to help change the organization, turn the organization around. But at the same time, man, it's hard, yo. It's really hard because the problem is we haven't changed as an organization. We just kind of got Carr, who we don't really know if he's that good or if he's like an average quarterback. At worst, I think he's an average quarterback. But even if that's the case, we don't have a team to evaluate a new quarterback. Like, there's no way we could evaluate any quarterback with the offense we have right now. You just couldn't. And then if you brought in a rookie, there's no way. Like, a rookie would get destroyed. You know what I mean? A rookie would get completely destroyed over here. Central Cali in the building. What's good with you, man? Says we're just watching Wi-Fi Willie's live. Didn't see that you were on too. Glad I made it though. Yeah, appreciate you pulling up, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out Wi-Fi Willie, man. Wi-Fi needs to invite me to his lives, man. I had him come on my show. I believe I had him come on the show. He never invited me back. I was like, what the hell is that? Wi-Fi. Y'all gotta go DM Wi-Fi and be like, yo, why don't you have Ray come on the show? Is Darren Waller playing this game? If he doesn't, I feel like he is sitting out for the extension. So, people are saying he's supposed to come back. I haven't heard anything about him coming back 100%, but we'll see what happens. He might. This might be the game. He's been out for a few games now. I mean, shit, come on, dude. Let's get the ball rolling. You feel like you're kind of dragging us with this injury. We've really needed you. You know what I mean? If you really wanted to be on the field, I feel like he could have been on the field if he really wanted to, but, it's however he feels, I guess. Raid, I read today Washington football team is interested in Carr. What do you think? That's interesting, man. That's interesting. Let me see this. Derek Carr. Where'd you see this at, man? Where'd you see this at? That's interesting. I wouldn't really – that'd be tough, bro. It's like, do you want to trade him to Washington? Would y'all want to trade him to Washington? Okay, heavy.com got something right here. ESPN Writer has this is heavy.com. It says proposed trade has Raiders dealing quarterback to NFC team for massive haul. Trade proposal would be Carr getting sent. Let's see. Let me pull this up real quick. Carr getting traded. This is kind of – I don't know if this is exactly what you were looking at, but this is interesting. No thanks. Right here. Lead Washington to show interest in Carr. Says Pro Football Focus. Trade proposal between the two teams. Carr getting sent to Washington for a 2022 first-round pick, 2023 first-round pick, and a 2022 third-round pick. Okay, that's pretty interesting. I don't know. I'd want players. I'd probably want players. We can't draft that well. Y'all want to? I don't know. We can't draft too well, man. I'll be honest. But I would rather get one of their defensive linemen. I'll be honest, yo. Y'all know I like Carr, but at the same time, if anything were like this happen, right? I would want to get one of those defensive linemen. No, you need to send me Daron Payne or Jonathan Allen or Matthew Ioannidis, Chase Young. I'm sorry. I need to get one of these dudes. But at the end of the day, I'm not really trading Carr. I'm not really trading Carr. So screwed our coach and trying to taking our quarterback. Hell no. Exactly. Why the hell would we want to send him there anyway? I'd rather build this team before getting a new quarterback. Yeah, same here, man. Look, I like Carr. I would want to stick with Carr. I'd go get some true wide receivers that's gonna stick around. I would keep Drake. I would keep Barber. I would keep Jacobs. I would keep all these dudes. I'm gonna keep 100 with y'all. I would keep all these dudes. I would just go get them pieces. 2 first and 2 players. Yep. Most def, bro. I need a lot more, man. I need true players. I need actual proven NFL talent. But man, I've been on here for about an hour, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up, yo. Appreciate everybody being here. I wanted to hop on as soon as I got back from Vegas. Tell y'all about how I have I had a blast at the game. I kind of feel like I should have went live on my phone or something, but I've never done that before, honestly, and. I just wasn't sure how it would have gone. But if y'all can't hit that like button before y'all go, make sure y'all rate the like button before y'all go. And make sure y'all hit the subscribe if y'all new here. Appreciate y'all pulling up. I'm going to do a morning show tomorrow. I'm going to probably set that up tonight. But we're gonna do a morning show tomorrow. We're going to dig into the playoffs, man. We're going to dig into the playoffs. we're going to see exactly what it's looking like. You know, people got us looking at the 9th spot right now. I've seen something that said we're at the 7th, so we'll definitely have to look into that, man. Appreciate everybody pulling up. See y'all later, man. Till next time, rate the tape.